So I hate to be the one to tell you this. Well, no, actually, I take great pride in telling you this. Your grandma is probably a kitchen witch. So this is for my friends who are surprised and think I've suddenly gone to the woo because I started doing tarot card readings. I want you to know that no, this is not a sudden change. I've been reading tarot since I was a teenager. Um, I come from a very intuitive family. My mom, for example, has prophetic dreams, but they're usually about world events or war type things, which can be very distressing. I have prophetic dreams more of a personal nature, but they too can be distressing. And I found that the more I do tarot and use my gift that way, the less distressing information my mind receives. I stopped doing tarot for the most part when I became an adult, for a little while. And there were a couple of reasons for that. First of all, I just, I had to concentrate on getting my life together and, starting my life. And the other thing was the stigma. I enjoy being thought of as a very logical person, a believer in science. I'm still a very strong believer in science. Um, science is real. Science is magic. Magic is not science, but science is magic. And I there was a shame to it. So I just kind of abandoned that part of myself. And as I'm getting older and as I'm really trying to reconcile all parts of myself, of my authentic self, who I really am, the more I understand I just can't leave this part behind because, for one thing, it's a gift. And how rude of me to forsake that. Um, in practical terms, I I feel like that uh, when I read, I'm reading energies. I'm reading current energies. Tarot is just paper and ink. Tarot cards are just paper and ink. But I'm reading current energies through my subconscious and the collective unconscious. Um, there's so much information that passes through our subconscious before we're ever aware of a conscious thought. Okay, so I think part of my gift is a very rapid processing of that information. Um, and the other part is, some wisdom and emotional intelligence that is a true gift, um, that I can interpret those things, and I can help people apply that to their lives. My intention with tarot is to never manipulate, never exploit, um, but to give people hope and to give people, a little reassurance that they need. And it's always the truth. It's always the truth. There's always something to cling on to, always some hope. So, I want to be the voice of that. And I feel very honored to be the voice of that in the universe. And I feel very honored to be the person that people go to get that information. It's a great honor. So about your grandma. So your grandma, what I mean is by my understanding of magic and why I think it's real. Have you ever gone to your grandma's house, and you've been so tired, let's say like after school, you're so tired and, you just kind of had a rough day and somebody picked on you and you flunked your test or whatever. And you go to your grandma's house and as soon as you walk in the door, you feel so comforted and at home and relieved. That's because your grandma was a kitchen witch. Because when she made that spaghetti for you, when she, made those Hello Dolly bars for you to eat, she put her love and intention into those bars and into that spaghetti. And her intention was for you to feel nurtured, for you to feel loved, and for you to feel comforted. And guess what? When you ate those things, you felt nurtured, loved, and comforted. How's that any different from a spell? How's that any? It's just vocabulary. It's just the vocabulary you choose to use. But also, I hope that considering this in a new way helps you realize that magic is real and life is just so much better if you think of it that way. You know, the common thing in all this is intention and faith, right? When you say a prayer, you're putting in intention and faith. Intention of what you want, and then faith that because you trusted this, you handed this over to a different power. And it could be your subconscious, you know, or it could be God, or it could be the universe, it could be a spell, whatever. But the fact that you put this intention into this thing, and then you have faith that it's going to come true, that you're going to get that thing, that's a spell, that's a prayer, that's planning, whatever you want to call it. It's just a difference in vocabulary. Also, you know, I moved back to my childhood home that's in the woods, that's in all this nature, and it's really hard not to believe in magic when you see this every day. It's really hard to, you know, look at life through a macro lens in the woods and not just think, my gosh, how incredible this is, and how in itself is magic. Just the fact that it exists. So that's where I'm coming from in all this. It's not really that crazy out of left field. I absolutely believe in science. I absolutely am a very logical person. I just think that there's more than one way to look at these things. And my life has gotten so much richer by doing that, by looking at possibility instead of limits. I think that's a big thing I needed to learn in life, is to look at the possibilities instead of limits. You know, self-limitation is probably one of the worst things that can happen to us, putting limits on ourselves. So I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I'm just trying to give a little explanation to people who think I've lost my mind. And I hope maybe you got something from this. Send me a message if you want to talk about it. Send me a message if you want a reading. I'll do it for free. I don't like placing barriers between my gift and the people who would benefit from it. So you're welcome. You're welcome just to reach out, and I'm happy to help you. Evidently, that's what I'm here for. Okay, take care.